I'm 65 and just found out I'm a grandmother to 3 little angels. My daughter hid them because I got engaged to someone she hated. I'm Susan, 65, living just outside Seattle, and yesterday, Facebook shattered my world. It began with a tag. A friend's post popped up, 3 kids on a swing set. Their eyes curls, little smiles. They were Lara's in miniature. My daughter. I stared at the screen. My coffee went cold. My heart stopped. Angel, 6, with golden ringlets. Gabriel, 4, with serious hazel eyes. Hope, 2, clutching a teddy. 3 grandchildren I'd never met. I dropped my latte on the tiled cafe floor. The warm splash spread like betrayal. I bolted upright. "Excuse me," I muttered, and rushed out. In the car, I fumbled for my phone. My fingers shook as I dialed Lara. 1 ring, 2 rings, voicemail. "Lara, it's Mom. I saw the photos of Angel, Gabriel, and Hope. I've never met them. Call me." Silence. 20 minutes later, her text. "Can we talk? Elm and 12th in 30. I grabbed my tote, photo album, chocolate muffins, tissues, and drove. The city blurred past until I parked by a striped cafe awning. Inside, Lara sat in our usual corner booth. She looked smaller, worn out. Tears stained her cheeks. I slid in across from her. "No." "Hi." "No." "I'm sorry." Just a silence so heavy I almost drowned in it. I spoke first. "Why?" She met my eyes. "Because I thought you'd hate me." "Hate you?" My voice cracked. "I love you. I've always loved you." She bit her lip. "Single mom again. You got engaged to Paul. I thought you'd pick him over us." Everything snapped into focus. The ring on my finger, the sunny Sunday brunches, the way I'd told her. New chapter. I realized I'd never asked how she felt. I reached across and touched her hand. "I'm sorry I made you feel that way." Her guard crumpled. "I'm so sorry, Mom." I exhaled. "I want to meet them." Her nod was a soft yes. She slid a small, folded note across the table. "Maple Park, under the willow, Saturday at noon." My heart hammered. "I'll be there." Outside, leaves drifted down, golden confetti. I tucked the note in my pocket. Next Saturday, I'd meet my 3 little angels, and start mending 6 years of silence. I woke early Saturday, heart pounding. Fog rolled off Puget Sound. I tucked the note into my coat pocket and drove to Maple Park. At noon I spotted her, Lara, by the old willow. 3 kids huddled close. Angel's curls bounced. Gabriel's truck was in hand. Hope clutched her teddy. I stepped forward. Angel broke free. "Grandma!" she yelled, and sprinted. I dropped my bag and knelt. Angel threw her arms around me. I smelled sunscreen and daisies. My eyes stung. Gabriel hung back. He reached out with his truck. "For you," he said. I took it, surprised. "Thank you, my little engineer," I told him. He managed a shy smile. Hope toddled last. Lara scooped her up. Hope's tiny arms wrapped my neck. "Grandma," she whispered. Lara led us to a blanket beneath the willow's branches. I opened my tote and pulled out 3 chocolate muffins, each wrapped in bright paper. Angel dove in. Gabriel nibbled politely. Hope took 1 small bite, then waved her arms for more. I cleared my throat. "I brought our family album," I said. Lara shifted and handed me a small photo book. Pages worn, memories cherished. I turned to picture number 1, Lara's first bicycle ride. Her face glowed with triumph. "That's you at 6, I said. Angel traced the photo with her finger. "Me?" she asked. I nodded. "You have that same smile." Next, a snapshot of Lara's first day of school. Crisp dress, polished shoes. "And this," I said, "was your first day of first grade." Gabriel leaned in. "I like school," he declared, and clasped the photo as if holding proof. Finally, a black and white baby photo, Lara asleep in my arms. "And this is Hope," I said softly. Hope pressed her cheek to mine. I kissed the picture. I snapped the album shut. Your turn, I announced, handing each child a blank page and a crayon. Draw what makes you happy. Angel scrawled a row of daisies. Gabriel drew his truck on a ramp. Hope made circles, then clapped when she finished. They showed me in turn. Angel's flowers were bright. Gabriel's ramp towered. Hope's circles danced. I taped each drawing inside the album. Laura watched, tears brimming. Mom, she said, voice trembling. They don't even know how much I miss this. I squeezed her hand. I missed it too. A breeze stirred the willow's leaves. Angel looked up. Let's play, she said. She dashed toward the swing set. I followed. Gabriel lined his truck along the path. Hope toddled beside me. Laura trailed behind. Under the willow, Angel climbed high. Gabriel sat on the lowest swing. Hope tried to push her own teddy in a tiny child's swing. We cheered and clapped. When the game ended, I called, "Group hug!" They tumbled into my arms. Angel wrapped around my waist. Gabriel leaned against my leg. Hope rested her head on my chest. I closed my eyes. The world felt right. Laura stepped close. "Thank you," she whispered, "for showing up." I kissed her forehead. "Always." We returned to the blanket for one last surprise. I pulled out 3 glass jars filled with slips of paper and a pen. "Write one wish," I said, "for next Saturday." Angel scribbled quickly. Gabriel studied the paper, then carefully wrote his piece. Hope dipped her crayon in the cocoa before scrawling a big heart. They folded their wishes and dropped them in the jars. We sealed them tight. The afternoon light softened. We packed up slowly. Angel looped her arm through mine. Gabriel offered his truck. Hope held my hand. At the gate, Angel looked up. "See you next week?" she asked. I crouched to her level. "Every week," I promised. Gabriel saluted, and Hope nodded with a big grin. I walked to my car, heart full. Lara's hand rested on my shoulder as we drove away. Next Saturday waited. New pages, new memories, all starting beneath that steadfast willow. By 3rd Saturday, I'd memorized the ruts in Maple Park's gravel path. My stomach fluttered as I loaded my tote, 3 little terracotta pots, seed packets for daisies, zinnias, and wildflowers, plus colorful markers for labels. Today, we'd plant Grandma's garden. I arrived to spot Laura and the kids gathered beneath the willow. Angel held her notebook proudly. Gabriel clutched a toy measuring tape. Hope bounced in place, clutching her teddy. I knelt and smiled. "Ready for gardening?" I asked. Angel nodded so fast her curls bobbed. Gabriel's serious eyes gleamed. Hope squealed and ran ahead. We laid our pots in a row. I handed Angel the daisy seeds. She tipped them in like fairy dust. Gabriel measured the soil depth with his tape. I helped him press down the zinnia seeds in neat lines. Hope sprinkled wildflower mix, then patted the soil with both hands. They worked in silence, except for the soft bubbling of their laughter when stray seeds tickled their noses. I praised each of them. "Perfect spacing, Gabriel," I said. "Beautiful sprinkle, Hope." Angel beamed. "You're going to have the brightest daisies," I promised. Once the planting was done, we labeled each pot with laminated cards. Angel's daisies, Gabriel's zinnias, Hope's wildflowers. I punched holes and tied them onto stakes. The pots sat like little sentinels under the willow's shade. Next, I pulled out a small water can. Angel took first turn, gently watering her daisies, careful not to wash seeds away. Gabriel followed, practicing his engineer's drip technique. Hope splashed water around and giggled when her boots splattered. The sun glinted off droplets like tiny stars. As the last sprinkle soaked in, I handed each child a fresh page and crayons. "Draw how you want your garden to look when it blooms," I said. Angel drew tall yellow flowers with buzzing bees. Gabriel sketched a zinnia castle guarded by toy trucks. Hope's picture was a rainbow swirl of color. They showed me one by one. I taped their drawings into my journal, another layer added to our story. Lara watched, eyes soft. They adore you, she said. I shrugged. They're my greatest adventure. Then came the surprise moment I'd planned, a tiny picnic spread right there on the grass. I unpacked lemon bars, mini sandwiches, and juice boxes. Angel and Gabriel fought politely over the first lemon bar. Hope squeezed hers until crumbs fell everywhere. We ate and talked. Angel declared she'd name her first Daisy Sunshine. Gabriel planned a ramp for his zinnia patch. Hope hummed a tune she'd made up. Each comment felt like a treasure. After our feast, we walked the park path in single file, Angel skipping, Gabriel marching, Hope toddling. I pointed out early butterfly sightings and buds on the magnolia trees. Lara fell and stepped beside me. This means everything, she said. Thank you for making time. I squeezed her hand. Always. We returned to circle around the pots, and I called out our next ritual. Time for the wishing stones. I pulled 3 smooth pebbles from my pocket, 1 pink, 1 blue, 1 white, and invited each child to hold theirs, close their eyes, and make a wish for the garden. Angel squeezed her pink stone. I wish for flowers tall as me. Gabriel closed his eyes around the blue rock. I wish for enough zinnias to build a fort. Hope hugged her white stone. I wish for butterflies. They whispered their wishes in tiny voices. We buried the stones in the pots, symbols of hope planted alongside seeds. Lara wiped a stray tear. You always know just how to make memories, she said. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in peach. We packed up slowly, pots ready for home, drawings tucked into my journal, empty plates stacked for the park's cleanup crew. Angel looped her arm through mine. Gabriel handed me his measuring tape as a keepsake. Hope offered her teddy for a final hug. At the gate, Angel waved her paper daisies, Gabriel revved an imaginary engine, and Hope giggled, clutching her teddy. Next week? Angel asked. I smiled wide. Every week. Driving away, I glanced in the rearview mirror, Lara's family growing, laughter echoing. My heart soared. Grandma's garden had taken root under the willow, and so had our love. I woke up craving popcorn. Not a typical Saturday thought for a 65-year-old, but today was movie night under the willow. I packed a portable projector, a collapsible white sheet, 3 fuzzy blankets, and, importantly, 3 mini tubs of buttered popcorn. By 5 p.m., Maple Park's pathways were emptying of families, the sun flirting with the horizon. I arrived early to string the sheet between 2 low branches, its fabric glowing pale in the fading light. The projector perched on a small folding stool, cords tucked away. In the distance, the willow's silhouette rippled like a dark curtain. At 6 p.m., Lara and the kids showed up. Angel in her pink hoodie, immediately racing to inspect the setup. Gabriel, ever serious, tested the projection angle on his toy truck's hood. Hope lagged behind, clutching her teddy, eyes wide at the growing shadows. I kneeled to hand them each a blanket. Here, stay warm. Angel wrapped hers tight. Gabriel tucked his under his chin. Hope draped hers over her teddy. I passed out popcorn tubs. Angel dove in. Gabriel inspected each kernel before eating. Hope handed me her tub as if convinced I'd handled the important job of taste testing. When they settled on the blanket, I hit play. The movie flickered to life, a simple animated tale of a sparrow who finds her voice. The first frames danced across the sheet. Angel gasped. Gabriel leaned forward. Hope's mouth hung open. I watched their faces light up. Angel's eyes followed every flutter of the bird's wings. Gabriel's brow furrowed in concentration. Hope clapped each time a new character appeared. Halfway through, the sky offered its own show, fireflies blinking to life among the willow's drooping branches. The scene on the sheet glowed beside the tiny lights, a duet of magic. Angel pointed. Fireflies, she whispered. We paused the movie and sat in awed silence, popcorn forgotten. The children counted the flickers, naming each one. When the firefly show dimmed, I pressed play again. The movie's hero faced her first big challenge. Angel gasped. Gabriel whispered encouragement. You can do it. Fly higher. And Hope bounced with excitement. The story's themes of courage and belonging felt personal, echoing our own journey. As the final credits rolled, dusk had deepened into night. I clicked off the projector and reached into my tote for one last surprise: 3 small, unmarked journals and pens. "Movie journals?" I said. "You can write or draw your favorite part." Angel's hand shot up. Gabriel nodded. Hope clapped. I passed out the journals. Angel wrote, "The sparrow and the fireflies." Gabriel sketched the hero's wings and the willow's outline. Hope doodled circles of light with colored dots. When they finished, they read aloud. Angel's voice quivered with excitement. Gabriel narrated with dignified pride. Hope giggled as she pointed to her page. I tacked their pages inside my own big journal, binding our memories together. Angel looped her arm through mine and whispered, "Best night ever." Gabriel gave me a serious nod. Hope nestled into my lap, happy and sleepy. Laura joined us under the willow's branches, the night air cool against our faces. She rested her head on my shoulder. "You keep giving them magic," she said softly. I kissed the top of her head. "They give me magic right back." We packed up in comfortable silence, the sheet folded, the projector stowed, blankets rolled. Angel resisted leaving, tracing her fingers over the grass. Gabriel gave his truck a final salute. Hope pressed her teddy to her chest and yawned. Back in my car, I tucked the journals into my glove box. The willow's branches whispered goodbye through the windshield. I sipped leftover cider, its warmth trailing down. That night, I placed the journals on my bedside table, each page alive with sparkles and wings. I whispered a promise. Next Saturday, new adventure. And under that willow's quiet watch, I knew our story, like the sparrows, would always find its voice. By the 5th Saturday, autumn's gold had faded into crisp winter air. Maple Park's paths were dusted with frost, and the willow's branches swayed bare against a pale sky. I arrived bundled in my favorite wool coat and carrying 3 plush scarves, pink, blue, and yellow, plus a small wooden sled I'd dusted off from childhood. In my tote, a thermos of hot spice cider and 3 oatmeal cookies still warm. I spotted Laura first, standing beneath the willow with the children. Angel's curls peeked out from beneath her pink hat. Gabriel's blue knit cap covered his ears. Hope's yellow bonnet framed her bright eyes. They waved as I approached, their cheeks flushed with cold and excitement. "Winter play," Angel announced, bouncing on her heels. Gabriel inspected the sled with polite curiosity before stepping aside. Hope clutched her teddy and clung to Lara's hand. I knelt to drape each scarf around their necks. Angel's pink scarf fluttered, Gabriel's blue settled snug, and Hope's yellow nearly swallowed her tiny frame. "Ready?" I asked. They nodded vigorously. We found a gentle slope a few yards from the willow. I set the sled at the top and helped Angel climb on. Gabriel gave it a cautious push. Hope and Laura cheered as the sled carved a smooth arc through frosted grass. Angel's laughter rang clear, and I hopped on behind her for a second run. The cold flew past my face, but warmth bloomed in my chest. Next, Gabriel's turn. He sat, legs straight, and I gave him a gentle shove. He gripped the sled's ropes, eyes bright. As he coasted down, he let out a triumphant shout. Hope clapped her hands and jumped up and down. When it was Hope's turn, Laura lifted her into the sled. I steadied it, and with a soft push, Hope giggled all the way down, her teddy safe in her lap. She pointed at the willow and squealed again. After 3 rounds, we settled on the blanket beneath the willow. I poured cider into 3 small cups, 1 for each child, and a mug for Laura. Angel's eyes widened at the steam. Gabriel sipped like a gentleman. Hope dipped her mittens under the rim and squealed when the cider tickled her nose. I passed around the oatmeal cookies. Angel nibbled, crumbs flying across her lap. Gabriel lined 3 raisins on his cookie before taking a bite. Hope chomped down in enthusiastic bites. Each bite felt like a warm hug, chasing away the chill. "Time for a story," I announced. I reached into my tote and pulled out a small lantern. Its soft glow cut through the gray afternoon. I opened a well-worn book of winter folklore and began to read about the old willow's spirit, said to grant wishes to families who gathered beneath its branches in the snow. Angel's eyes grew round. "It's true," she whispered. Gabriel leaned forward. Hope cuddled her teddy, listening intently. I paused at the story's end. "No," I said. "We each make a winter wish." I handed each child a small slip of paper and a pencil. They scribbled, or in Hope's case, scribbled and drew, then folded their wishes into a fabric pouch I draped from my neck. Angel held hers against her heart. Gabriel saluted the pouch. Hope hugged it tight. "Our snow wish," I explained, tying the pouch to a low branch where the willow could carry it. A gust of wind rattled the branches, sending ice leaves dancing to the ground. My heart leapt. Angel gasped. Gabriel's eyes shone. Hope clapped in delight. We let the lantern burn low, casting flickering shadows across the family gathered beneath the willow. Lara rested her head on my shoulder. "Thank you," she whispered, "for bringing magic back." I pressed her hand. "We make our own magic," I said. As dusk deepened, we packed up, scarves folded, sleds stowed, cookies crumbs brushed away. Angel looped her arm through mine. Gabriel offered his truck as his badge of honor. Hope pressed her teddy's paw into my hand. Walking back to the car, footprints in the frost marked our path. The willow's branches overhead seemed to arc in farewell. I tucked the lantern into my tote, its glow now memory, and slipped the pouch into my pocket, a promise and a secret. That night, I placed the pouch beside my bed. I could still hear their laughter in the cold air. I whispered into the darkness, "See you next Saturday." And in the hush, I felt the willow's silent answer, "Until then, and always." I'm 65, and yesterday I found out I have 3 grandchildren. My daughter hid them because she hated my fiancé. Today, I closed the circle. I woke Sunday to a soft ache in my bones. My phone buzzed with a picture from Lara, 3 saplings poking from the soil, each tagged with Angel's, Gabriel's, and Hope's names. The garden was alive. My heart soared. By noon, I was at Maple Park again, but this time I carried nothing but my own 2 hands and open arms. The willow's bare branches arched overhead like an old friend waiting. They were already there. Angel in her pink coat, Gabriel in blue, Hope in yellow. They ran toward me as soon as they saw me. "Grandma!" they shouted, racing into my embrace. All at once, I felt 6 years melt away. Angel's curls snuggled into my shoulder. Gabriel's little arms dug into my waist. Hope pressed her cheek to mine, Teddy tucked under her chin. Lara stood back, tears shimmering. We didn't need words. Our eyes said it all: pain, regret, forgiveness, love. I whispered to the children, "Come on." I reached for their hands and led them in a circle beneath the willow. We walked and talked. Angel told me about her first day of 2nd grade. Gabriel showed me his latest truck sketches. Hope hummed the songs she sang each night before bed. I listened rapt. When we returned to the park bench, I sat and patted my lap. "Family story time," I announced. I reached into my pocket for the little pouch of wishes we'd hung on the willow. One by one, the children retrieved their folded papers and read aloud. Angel's wish: flowers that never fade. Gabriel's wish: a ramp that reaches the stars. Hope's wish: a heart full of hugs. I nodded. All perfect wishes. I tucked each paper into my pocket, a treasure to keep. I handed them each a final gift, a tiny silver charm shaped like a heart, one for each, strung on a ribbon. "So you always remember today," I said. They tied them to their coats. Angel clasped hers, Gabriel saluted it, Hope fingered it carefully. Lara sat beside me then, her voice small. "I'm sorry I hid them. I thought I was protecting you." I pulled her close. "You taught me the power of tough love." She frowned. "It wasn't fair." I kissed her hair. "Life isn't always fair. Love frees us, doesn't bind us." A pause. Then she smiled. "I love you, Mom." I smiled back. "I love you more." We rose together. Angel, Gabriel, Hope on either side, Lara beside me. Hand in hand, we walked out of the park, past the willow, past the memories, into a future we'd build together. At my doorstep, they hugged me again. Gabriel pressed his truck into my hand. Angel tucked a daisy into my coat pocket. Hope pressed a soft, "I love you," into my cheek. I watched them go, their laughter carried on the breeze. I felt whole. Inside, I set the charm maiden ribbons on my dresser. I touched each heart, remembering. I whispered to the empty room, "Thank you." And at 65, I learned new love can bloom in every season. Under that willow, we found our way home.